So radial nerve, it is also known as musculospiral nerve because it is lying within the spiral groove. Okay, and it is the main nerve of the posterior compartment of the arm, forearm, and the dorsum of the hand. And it is the continuation of the posterior cord of brachial plexus, and this is the root value C5 to C8 and T1. Okay, all the roots have branches. So what is the beginning? It arises as continuation of posterior cord of brachial plexus behind the third part of the axillary artery in the lower part of the axilla. So this is the beginning of the nerve, and it is the largest branch of brachial plexus. Very important for your Viva and MCQs. Okay, largest branch of brachial plexus. See here it is arising in the axilla from the posterior cord of brachial plexus. Before entering, this is spiral groove on the posterior aspect of the humerus. Before entering into spiral groove, it is giving branches to long head. This is long head, and here is the branch to the medial head of the triceps. And another cutaneous nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of the arm. Within this spiral groove, it is giving branch to the lateral head. Here lateral head has been cut to expose the nerve from the posterior aspect in the spiral groove and giving branch to the medial head of triceps. And this branch again going to supply the anconeus muscle. Here it is also giving some cutaneous branches, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm and posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Okay. After that, it is piercing the lateral intermuscular septum and entering into the anterior compartment, and in front of the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, it is dividing into two branches, superficial branch and deep branch. And deep branch continues downward as the posterior interosseous nerve and passes between the two heads of the supinator muscle. So this is the course of the nerve we will discuss in details. It begins in the lower part of the axilla. Here runs behind the axillary artery and for a short distance behind the upper part of the brachial artery. And this radial nerve enters in the posterior compartment of arm through the lower triangular intermuscular space along with the profunda brachii artery. Okay. So these are the contents of the spiral groove, radial nerve and profunda brachii vessels. Okay, next it runs downward and laterally in the radial groove, pierces the lateral intermuscular septum to re-enter the anterior compartment of the arm, and here it lies under cover of brachioradialis and extensa carpi radialis longus, here near the elbow. And this radial nerve divides into superficial branch and posterior interosseous branch or deep branch at just below the lateral epicondyle, or you can say in front of the lateral epicondyle. See here the branches. In the axilla, it is giving branch to these two heads of the triceps. Long head of triceps, medial head of triceps, and one cutaneous branch is posterior cutaneous nerve of arm. In the radial groove, it is giving branch to lateral head and medial head of triceps, and branch to medial head is also going to supply the anconeus. And other two cutaneous branches are there, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Next is in the lateral part of the arm, where after piercing through the lateral intermuscular septum, it is entering into the anterior compartment of the arm, and here it is giving supply to these muscles, brachialis, lateral part, mainly the proprioceptive fibers are supplied by this radial nerve. Okay, and rest of the portion, mainly motor portion of the brachialis, is supplied by the musculocutaneous nerve. Other muscles are brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. After that, It is divided into two branches. Deep branch continues as posterior interosseous nerve, and superficial branch lies deep to the brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus and enters the it lies along with the radial artery in the anterior aspect of the forearm. So these are the branches. So in the axilla, it is giving branches to long head and medial head. Long head, medial head. And posterior cutaneous nerve of arm for skin on the back of the arm. Next is the branch in the radial groove. Here, these are the branches in the radial groove. Branch to lateral head of triceps. Branch to medial head of triceps, also called ulnar collateral nerve. This is also asked in your viva, which is called ulnar collateral nerve. It is a branch of radial nerve accompanying the ulnar nerve, going to supply the medial head of triceps. And as it lies close to the ulnar nerve, that's why it is called ulnar collateral nerve. Next is branch to anconeus. It supplies anconeus through the branch to medial head of triceps, going to supply the anconeus. Next is lower two cutaneous branches, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm and posterior cutaneous nerve of arm. These two are the cutaneous branches. Okay. Next, in the lower part of the arm, where it enters the anterior compartment of arm after piercing the lateral intermuscular septum. Here it supplies these muscles, brachialis, brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus, and it is also giving articular branch to the elbow joint. Here these are the three muscles it is supplying in the lateral part of the arm and also giving articular branch to the elbow joint. Next, it is dividing into two terminal branches, superficial branch and deep branch or posterior interosseous branch. Superficial branch is sensory for the dorsum of the hand and posterior aspect of lateral 3½ fingers. Okay. Superficial branch supplying area is this, asked in your viva. Next is deep branch or posterior interosseous nerve. It pierces the supinator muscle and supplies all remaining muscles of the posterior compartment of the forearm. Okay. So next we are going to the clinical aspect. Radial nerve injury. Okay, injury to the radial nerve produces sign and symptom based on the site of the injury. Okay, more proximal injury, more prominent sign and symptoms will be there. Okay, so first is injury in the axilla. Okay, here it is compressed. This leads to Saturday night palsy. Compression of the arm against the humerus. And this is crutch palsy. Okay. So injury in the axilla leads to Saturday night palsy occurs due to sleeping on the armchair with limb hanging by the side of the chair or by pressure of the crutch. Okay. This leads to injury in the axilla. And what are the results? Leads to loss of extension of the forearm and weakness of supination. Okay. Due to involvement of triceps, triceps is supplied by the radial nerve, loss of extension of the forearm and weakness of supination because of involvement of brachialis. And loss of extension of the wrist and fingers. This will lead to wrist drop. Okay. The posterior compartment muscles, extensor compartment of forearm muscles are lost. So there will be wrist drop supplied by the posterior interosseous nerve and loss of sensation in the lower and lateral posterior aspect of arm, posterior aspect of forearm, hand and lateral 3½ fingers. So these are the areas supplied by the cutaneous branches of radial nerve. Posterior cutaneous nerve of arm, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm, superficial branch of radial nerve. All the areas there is loss of sensation. Okay. And wrist drop has been shown here. Motor loss is the wrist drop mainly. Okay, so these supplying areas of the cutaneous nerve, all these areas, there will be sensory loss and wrist drop will occur due to paralysis of the radial nerve or due to compression of the radial nerve in the axilla. So it begins as branch of posterior cord of brachial plexus, and these are the root values. Okay, next is injury in the radial groove. This is very frequently given in your theory. Okay, Saturday night pulse is very, very important for your theory, and this also very important. Injury in the radial groove. All the signs and symptoms will be present except the branch to medial head and long head of triceps are preserved. These branches are given in the axilla, so these are preserved, and there will be weakness of extension of the elbow. Instead of there is loss of extension. In injury in axilla, there is complete loss of extension. All the heads of triceps are paralyzed. But here, these two heads are preserved. Long head and part of the medial head of the triceps is preserved. So instead of complete paralysis of triceps, there is partial paralysis of triceps and weakness in extension of the elbow. Okay, so that is the difference from injury in the axilla and injury in the radial groove. And rest of the sign and symptoms will be same. Cutaneous loss will be same. Other things will be same. Wrist drop. So this is the beginning of radial nerve. It is a branch of posterior cord of brachial plexus, and these are the root values C5 to C8 and T1. And it lies posterior to axillary and brachial artery, pass through the lower triangular space, runs in the spiral groove, then pierces the lateral intermuscular septum and lies deep to brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. These are the branches in the axilla, long and medial head of triceps, posterior cutaneous nerve of arm, in the spiral groove, medial and lateral head of triceps to the elbow joint, and two terminal branches, superficial and deep branch. Okay, so this is the summarization of course and the branches. So radial nerve is dividing into two terminal branches we have seen previously, superficial and deep in front of the lateral epicondyle. After that, the deep branch of radial nerve pierces the supinator muscle and enter in the posterior compartment of the forearm, and where it continues as the posterior interosseous nerve. And the superficial branch of radial nerve runs under cover of brachioradialis, and in the middle of the forearm, this nerve is accompanied by the radial artery in the anterior aspect of the forearm, and the superficial branch in the lower part of the forearm winds around the radius to enter the posterior compartment of the forearm. Okay, almost 7 centimeter above the styloid process. Okay, styloid process of radius. It winds round the radius, enters the posterior compartment, will supply the dorsum of the hand and dorsum of the lateral 3.5 fingers. Okay, so this is supplying area of superficial branch of radial nerve. Next we are going to deep branch, that is posterior interosseous nerve. This can come as a short note, posterior interosseous nerve. So how it begins? It is the deep branch of the radial nerve, and that arises in the cubital fossa under the cover of the brachioradialis muscle. It has a pseudoganglion opposite to the wrist, and it ends by supplying the wrist and the intercarpal joints. Okay, so this nerve has a pseudoganglion. Another pseudoganglion we have got in one of the branch of the axillary nerve. Okay, so here the branches of the posterior interosseous nerve has been shown. Okay, so we have dividing the branches before piercing the supinator, in the supinator, after piercing the supinator. before piercing the supinator, it is supplying these two muscles, extensor carpi radialis brevis and the supinator. See, this one is supinator muscle. Here it is dividing into two branches. This is superficial branch and deep branch is continuing downward as the posterior interosseous nerve. Okay. So, this is branch to extensor carpi radialis brevis, branch to supinator. After that, it is entering into the supinator, and within supinator, it is supplying the supinator muscle, and after coming out from the supinator, it is supplying all these muscles: extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, and these deep muscles, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. Okay. After that, there is a pseudoganglion, and this after pseudoganglion, it is supplying, giving a branch to the wrist joint. Here you can see the branches supplying the extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digiti minimi, extensor digitorum, indicis, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and here is the branch to the wrist joint. Okay. So these are the muscles supplied by the posterior interosseous nerve, all the muscles of the posterior compartment of the forearm. Branches are muscular branches before piercing supinator to extensor carpi radialis brevis and supinator. In the supinator to the supinator muscle, and after emerging from the supinator, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis and extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis, and it is giving articular branches to the all the joint near the wrist. Wrist joint, distal radioulnar joint, intercarpal joint, intermetacarpal joints. All those joints are getting supply from the posterior interosseous nerve. So this posterior interosseous nerve, it has a beginning as deep branch of the radial nerve. Course, it pierces the supinator and lies between the superficial and deep extensor muscles of the forearm, and these are the branches before supinator, giving branch to extensor carpi radialis brevis and supinator muscles, and within the supinator it is supplying the supinator muscle, and after emerging from the supinator it is giving branches to all these muscles: extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. These are the superficial group, and these are the deep group: extensor abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. All those are supplied by the posterior interosseous nerve. And in case of injury to this posterior interosseous nerve, there will be wrist drop, because there will be loss of extension of the wrist joint. Okay. Extension of the wrist joint is caused by these extensor muscles of the forearm. So there will be wrist drop in injury to the posterior interosseous nerve. Okay, so radial nerve can individually come as a long question. Saturday night palsy, important explain why question, or injury in the radial groove. Okay, this also comes as a part of your long question. And this posterior interosseous nerve can come as a short note. Okay, so these are important questions from the radial nerve and its branches. Understood?